What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Ocelot, back again with another at-home technology review. Today we got the Fitbit Alta HR fitness tracker. You know, these Fitbits have been really popular for a couple of years now, so I thought I'd finally check one out. I'm coming from a Huawei Watch 1, so a lot of my observations in this video are going to apply to the whole fitness tracker versus smartwatch argument in general. I do think this is a fair comparison. You know, these product segments are starting to converge with similar price points. For example, I just saw today the Fitbit Alta HR is going for $170 on Amazon, whereas the Huawei Watch can be had for $220. If you'd like to see my comparison review of the Huawei Watch versus the Nixon Mission, I'll post a link in the description below, and then I'll also do a little box here. Alright, so as for the pros of this watch, I'll cover some of the form first and then the functions. The size and weight. This is a really nice size and weight for something to wear on your wrist. It's really more like a bracelet than it is a giant watch, like say the Apple Watch would be. So that was really nice. It's also really lightweight. And I really like the way it's designed. You know, it's slim, futuristic looking. I got this aftermarket band here, which I think really complements the rose gold. With the, or you could go with you know, the stock rubber wristband, which is also really nice. I think, you know, if you work out in the gym a lot, or you just don't like the loose feel of a metal band, the rubber is a nice choice. One cool thing about these is they are really easy to customize. You just unclip the wristbands down here like that, and I didn't even have to read the directions or anything to figure this out. You just basically can tell when you look at the package for the first time. And snap them back in, and yeah, that's real cool. That's really cool. Up to 7-day battery life is what Fitbit is saying on these. That is awesome. You know, I wear a Huawei watch. It is kind of my routine to charge it at night. I probably wouldn't want to wear a watch when I'm sleeping anyways, but you know, with these Fitbits, you really got to be able to wear them 24/7, because so much of the benefit comes from the sleep tracking and the all-day activity tracking. So 7-day battery life, well done, Fitbit. Now, this device offers all-day heart rate, activity, and sleep tracking. And for these features, I do think it's worth pulling out the app to show you guys. It's the same app as you would use with any other Fitbit device. You know, I do think these Fitbits do encourage a healthier lifestyle through, you know, you can track your food, you can track your activity, and between the two of those, you really need to have a caloric deficit to be losing weight. You know, it's just thermodynamics, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. It's hard. But, you know, Fitbit makes it kind of fun. They offer these social challenges. So your friends through Facebook or just, you know, email or whatever, you all can track each other's activity and progress. And then using these social challenges, do things like who's going to walk the most. So going back to my dashboard, you know, here's the activity tracking. You know, it's an estimate, guys. It's not dead on nuts, but it's better than nothing, right? I mean, I wouldn't have guessed that I'd burn that many calories today. Exercise tracking, I'm pretty sure these have automatic exercise tracking. So you just start running or biking or whatever, and Fitbit realizes that. If it doesn't have it yet, then I do believe it's going to be a feature coming out soon. The sleep tracker, this was kind of cool. You know, I have kids, so I don't really get a whole lot of sleep, but 7 hours last night, and looks like it's generally a bell curve between REM and deep sleep on the outer edges, and then light sleep is mostly what people's sleep ends up being. So I'm kind of right there. And they can do things like see your resting heart rate, I guess that's kind of interesting if you really have no clue and you want to see how your heart rate correlates with activity. All right, so now let's move on to the cons. And unfortunately, there are quite a few. This screen, I'm coming from a Huawei Watch, which is very intuitive, out of the box, easy to use. This screen freaking sucks. You gotta tap it twice to turn it on, and it's super unreliable. There you go. You gotta keep tapping it to get it to work. Or you can supposedly flick it towards you if you're wearing it on your wrist, and the screen will turn on. Yeah, that works, with some force, but I'm not normally flicking my wrist with that much force. My elbow actually hurts by doing that. I'm not even kidding. So the screen is unreliable. It's small, which is, that comes with the portability. But just the quality, it sucks. It's not like an LCD screen. Like you have, turn on, come on. There we go. You see, it's like that dot matrix. It turns off after 3 seconds. That's way too short, guys. Come on, Fitbit. It's not a touch screen, so there's no interaction going on. Yeah, I really think the device is flawed for any interaction other than fitness tracking, which you then view on your phone. Notifications. This thing is supposed to hook up to your phone to let you know when you're getting a call or a text or you have a calendar appointment. It does do that, but the vibrating element in the watch is so weak that I barely even noticed it. And then because it was so weak, I started getting phantom signals or perceiving phantom signals where I thought it vibrated. I'd look at it and nope, no, it's not there. So honestly, I'd almost rather not have the notifications. They're unreliable. Like I set this thing up yesterday and I didn't start getting notifications until this morning. So I don't know what was going on. And being limited to calls, texts, and the calendar appointments, it's there, but the Huawei Watch or an Android Wear watch or an Apple Watch, those are going to be so much powerful with the notifications and interaction. For example, Android Wear, which I know very well, coming from the Huawei Watch, it has actual interaction with Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google Maps. If you want to navigate somewhere, you press the button on the watch, you tell it where it wants to go, and boom, the navigations are loaded on your phone and on your watch. Sick. Shopping. If you have any kind of alerts through your Amazon or eBay that you want to have, those aren't going to be on this thing. You really need a more powerful smartwatch for those. Podcast integration, music player integration. You want to skip your tracks without pulling your phone out? Need an Apple Watch or Android Wear or Samsung for that matter. Google search. You can do some Google searches limited with the Huawei Watch. Email notifications, email archiving. Those are very useful. Chat notifications. Who texts nowadays? I don't usually text my friends unless it's super urgent. For more casual communications, I'm more used to using Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. You're not going to get notifications of those with these things, with these Fitbits. So the smartphone integration is really, really limited, guys. I didn't realize how much more it is than just calls, texts, and calendar appointments. The device is really small. Credit to the engineers for getting it down to this size. But as far as the device's hardware, it has Bluetooth only. No Wi-Fi. So when you set this thing up, or you want to do a firmware update to get some of those new features, you got to plug it into your computer. Not a smartphone, your computer. Oh yeah, the charging cable. These smartwatches all need to be charged. I believe none of them are done wirelessly charging, you got to get like some leads. You see those two leads there onto the charging leads over here. So, I mean, I get that. But man, this cable is ugly. I know with the Huawei Watch, you can buy third-party, 3D printed kind of watch stands, but this isn't going to work because it's like a clip. It's a binder clip. Not a huge fan of the charging cable. Not a huge fan of needing to plug in to your computer at any point. And that brings us to the value. Okay, this thing just came out. I got it on Amazon for $170. For $50 more, you could spring for a Huawei Watch 1, and you would have a much more powerful, much more capable, much more appealing, honestly, watch experience. So, value $170, I cannot justify that. If this was less than $100, maybe I would understand people buying that. All right, so what's the final verdict? Well, as you probably can imagine, I do think if you're looking for a tool to help you figure out how many calories you burn in a day, specifically, or you want to have those social challenges on the Fitbit ecosystem with your friends, this will enable you to do that. I'm just not that guy. I don't know who would be that guy. What else? You know, I'm a pretty active guy who gets plenty of exercise, so the fitness tracking didn't offer me any benefit. My wife, who I actually purchased this for, my wife wants a full-featured smartwatch that she can use to interact with her iPhone. So she's decided, and I agree, that she should get a Series 1 Apple Watch. Those are $250 now. You know, now that I'm more aware of the Fitbit Alta HR's shortcomings, I do think she'll be happier with an Apple Watch, and I do think it was a mistake to buy this thing. Even if all you want is the phone notifications, this is not going to work as well as a smartwatch, and not very well in general out of the box. So personally, I'm going to have to return the Fitbit Alta HR. I thought I might keep it for myself, but no. So I'm going to stick with my Huawei Watch. It's a shame, you know. I do think that there is a market for a smaller, beautifully designed, this does check both of those boxes, smartwatch or more capable fitness tracker. This thing is just so compromised. You know, the technology, it feels like something that came out in 2010, 2011. So 2000 and late. Alright guys, if you're a fan of these reviews, please let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to respond to all of them. And some of the funny ones which have been blocked in the past, they really do crack me up. So keep those coming in. Thanks again for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.